Welcome back to the Charlotte Hornets, MyNBA, everyone. Today, we're set to take on the number one seed in the Eastern Conference standing right now, the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, they have the same core, but they've added some other guys to this roster. Kelly Oubre, coming off the bench for the Cavs, has been a monumental piece for this team, coming off the bench and providing them with some very valuable minutes here for Cleveland. Now, as far as standings go, as I mentioned, the Cavaliers sit at number one seed. They're 3 games ahead of the Magic, a respectable 3-game spot there between those two teams. They've got the Heat up by 5, and as you can see, the Hornets, we are sitting at the 8 seed right now, only a few games behind the Indiana Pacers. So if we can keep up our strong pace and we can stay competitive, we have a chance, a serious chance, to miss the play-in tournament and force our way into the playoffs completely. Now, a couple of changes to the lineup today. I went ahead and put Kyle Boswell in as that backup point guard position. I mentioned last episode getting him some more playing time, so I put him in over Nick Smith Jr. Same thing with PJ Hall over Joe Ingles, because Joe Ingles just wasn't getting playing time on this roster. But here they are in the Spectrum Center, and the Cavaliers start the day off on offense. Donovan Mitchell is going to be looking to score quick and early as the beautiful spin move into the jumper annihilates the net, and the Cavaliers take an early lead. The Hornets would bounce back, though, as LaMelo copies Mitchell. This time, though, he's doing it back to the Cavs. Melo has an early 6 points out of the first 6 for the Hornets. LaMelo working on Garland. That is a good matchup for this Hornets offense. Now, Trey Man pump fakes, give it to Miles Bridges for 3! Miles Bridges hits the jumper. He continues his strong outing this season as he does a good job there on defense, but unfortunately, Evan Mobley's able to get under the basket. That's going to make it tough to stop Donovan Mitchell. Still a tough shot, but Trey Man just couldn't get up in time, and that one went up and in with ease for Spida. Now 12-11 here in the beginning of this first quarter. The Hornets giving up a good fight to start the day, especially against a very, very tough opponent. This is not no Nets team anymore. Brandon Miller looking for his first basket. Beautiful move off the screen, and he stops and launches it from that mid-range jumper, and that one goes down. So now we're going to see the Cavs up by 2 still. A little over 4 minutes remain. Mitchell working on Man. That is a tough assignment for Man, but they're going to give it to Kelly Oubre. Oubre off the screen. Corner 3. Splash. Kelly Oubre showing why he's one of the best bench producers in the NBA, as Stephon Cassell misses the corner 3. He had to loft that one up. He is not necessarily a three-point shooter. Instead, Harris LeVert goes Oubre looking for another one. Can't get it to fall. That would have been huge for momentum for the Cavs. They've already got a lot of momentum, up 25-18 now. Now Boswell gets it down to Mark Williams. Williams kicks it to Miller, out to Grant Williams, to the corner 3 is good. Accidentally skipped that outcome, but as you can see from the score, 25-21. Ty Jerome in the ball game now for Garland. Jerome at the top of the paint, or key. He's going to take it out. He's trying to run a play, giving it to Kelly Oubre. Oubre, good screen from Mystery. Misses the 3. Oubre, couple of shots early. He's only been able to hit 1 from the perimeter. So Cassell, Melo, Grant Williams, Nick Richards, and JT Thor is the lineup. LaMelo, bad screen from Grant Williams. Instead, he goes up and gets rejected. Melo trying to get it over the outstretched arms of a Yves Mystery, but he has not been able to get past that man as he throws it down on the other way. Mystery is proving a very good rookie here for the Cavaliers in this season, and he has had some solid minutes. We're going to see Stephon Cassell dump it down to Nick Richards. Good job getting up there quickly. He didn't even give Jared Allen a chance to react to that pass. He was already going up for the dunk now. Kelly Oubre around the screen, going to dump it down. Mystery out to Allen. Allen with the reverse jam. That is a big one there. 33-30. We are in the second quarter. A little over 8 minutes remain. Oubre lets it fire, and he hits the shot. He's had a good start to his day. Missed a couple shots, but he's also made a few. Garland working on Melo. Beautiful step back. Can't get it to fall. He had LaMelo lost on that one, on that snatchback. Trey Man trying to lead the break. They're going to get a mismatch down low by Cassell. cutting to the basket. He's going to throw it down now. 37-34, 6.5 remain. Cassell working on Mitchell. Hop step, and it's in. Right over the outstretched arms of Donovan Mitchell. He's not known as the best defender in the NBA. So you've got to be able to take advantage of that height difference. And Stephon Cassell, despite being a rookie, is doing exactly that. 41-38 as Kelly Oubre responds with a dunk of his own now. Garland on top of the key. He's going to go around the screen from Zach Collins. Step back. Trey Mann. Good defense. Better offense by the Cavs. Darius Garland makes it a 6-point game. Trey Mann out to Bridges. Mismatch now. Bridges pump fakes. Kicks it out. Melo kicks it to Trey Mann. Contested. 3 is good. Trey Mann struggling these last few weeks, and he hits the tough shot with the hand in his face to cut it down. Now to 5 with 1:13 remaining. LaMelo off the screen. Garland chasing him. Can't get around it quick enough, and LaMelo Ball hits the 3 off of the moving screen there, or off of the screen, moving to the left. That was a beautifully ran play. Kevin Ollie drew it up perfectly. Garland can't respond. A chance to tie it or take the lead late in the second. Miles Bridges off to the races, and he throws it down on Darius Garland. Oh my goodness, Miles Bridges slams it with the right hand as we will now enter the third quarter, knotted up 52-all. Melo's got it. Brandon Miller starts the quarter strong with the mid-range jumper. He has had a rough few weeks for this Hornets team. As you saw last episode, his averages are down. His shooting percentage is down. He needs to get back in the groove of things. In a 4-point game so far today, couple of missed shots, couple of blown opportunities. He needs to get back in the groove of things. Evan Mobley thinks he's got a mismatch on Miles Bridges. Instead, Mann gets the pump fake wrong, and Mitchell, beautifully done off the little floater, fadeaway floater, I should say, with a hand in his face now as Donovan Mitchell calls the defense to defend him, and just like that, Cavs are back up by 1. Darius Garland's 3 was good, and they are on a roll. Final seconds of the shot clock. Okoro down to Allen. Allen through the contact, gets his own board, out to Garland. Garland moving. 3 is good. He cannot miss right now. Darius Garland passed up the open look, and instead, a bit more of a contested one, but it still falls for Garland. And this Cavaliers team is on fire right now. Steal by Allen. Garland off to the races. Kicks it down to Okoro, who throws it down. Taking off. Taking flight. Isaac Okoro on top of Stephon Cassell's head. Welcome to your Kodak moment, Stephon Cassell. We're going to see Mobley trying to exploit that mismatch with Trey Mann. Elbows him out of the way. And he just made that man look like a baby out there. Stephon Cassell down by 9, trying to ease the pain. In the pain, and a tough grown man layup. He's got 8 on the night, and Donovan Mitchell looking to respond. Can't hit it, thank the Lord. He missed that one now. 71-64. Trey Mann trying to lead a little bit of a comeback. Brandon Miller pump fakes, gets a good screen. Miller lets it fly. That one's good. That's exactly what the doctor ordered. Brandon Miller, he just needs to see one go in, and he can get back in the groove of things. Now Jared Allen working on Mark Williams. Good defense by Williams. Allen, little floater. Never seen Jared Allen do that, but that one even falls. This Cavaliers team has been shooting out of this world in this quarter. I mean, they seem to be making everything. Karis LeVert had Cassell lost. He still blew the easy mid-range shot, but Donovan Mitchell gets by Trey Mann, and now they're up by 10. Final seconds of the third quarter. Brandon Miller, excellent defense by Kelly Oubre. They're going to get a screen of Miller fading, kicks it inside. Mystery with the steal. Mitchell off to the races, gives it to Allen, back out to Oubre. This one is good. 80-67 heading into the fourth. The Hornets have went ice cold since the beginning of the third. Garland step back, hits the 3 to start the fourth, and they are just building on this lead. 87-69 now, an 18-point ball game. Cavaliers looking stronger than ever. Melo into the paint, through the contact, tough layup, impressive layup there for LaMelo Ball. He is able to finish that one. Garland going to settle for the fading mid-range jumper, and that one can't fall. So now a good job for the Hornets. Opportunity. JT Thor looks to throw it down, but he is sent packing. Darius Garland rebounds it off the mystery block, and this one, a deflected pass now goes straight back to Garland. Out to Allen. He doesn't settle for the three. Instead, mid-range jumper is good. And Jared Allen proving that he can coexist as a star for this Cavaliers team. The championship favorites for the NBA. LaMelo needs a response. Big three here, and he lets it fly, and he can check the wind as he knocks that one down. 89-74 for the Hornets. You've got to try and string together some stops. Garland, three, plants his feet and fires. LaMelo caught sleeping. And, I mean, there's just not much you can do when they're hitting threes like this as Oubre hits another corner three. 102-86 now. The Hornets have went ice cold. I would even say ice cold. The Cavaliers defense has just been incredible in this second half. They have went lockdown. That time they left Miller open, though, in the corner. They had to double-team the mismatch, so now Brandon Miller was able to hit that one. Trey Mann in transition. Couple of threes strung together for the Hornets. 103-92 now. Jared Allen up the middle of the paint. Going to go to Mitchell. Step back. Uncontested response. That might have been the dagger right there, folks. You're looking at a single-digit ball game if he doesn't hit that three, and the Hornets can go down and score now. Okoro gets past. Miller slams it down. Impressive display of athleticism. Garland, 113-96. Up and under, through the contact. Can't get it. Mobley puts it back. And they were just everywhere tonight. A 12-4 run to end the final 4 minutes of this game. The Hornets blew a perfect opportunity to get a significant win against a top seed in the Eastern Conference. Not a top seed, against the top seed in the Eastern Conference. The Cavaliers have been dominating everybody and are potentially a first-round matchup for the Hornets if they get into the playoffs out of the play-in tournament. So we have to look forward to matching up against this team very often in a 7-game series if we get out of the play-in tournament. Now, that is all from Cleveland. 115-98. The Hornets were not able to crack the 100-yard or the 100-point mark once again in this series, and it was because of the three-point shooting. Terrible shooting night. Trey Mann, 2 of 5, was probably our best guy tonight from 3. I mean, when you shoot 11 of 41, you're not going to win many basketball games. LaMelo led the way, but he was still shooting very poorly. Darius Garland had a good game. Kelly Oubre had a great game. Mitchell, Mobley, they all had very, very good games. Donovan Mitchell didn't even need to have a great game because he literally he shot 1 of 8 from 3. Now, thankfully, simulating a little further, we have been able to pop and solidify our spot in the play-in tournament. However, we don't know exactly what seed we'll be getting, and that's where the next game comes in so important. The final game of the regular season that we'll be playing. We're taking on the Pacers, a team that we're competing with the play-in spots or the final few seeding spots with, and we really need to take this game very seriously, and I'm very much hoping the Hornets can come out and win this one. Unfortunately, they'll have to do it without Trey Mann. He is out day-to-day right now. That is going to be a big hit to the way this offense functions. We wrap up this episode. I wanted to take a look at some of the players that I was looking at for the upcoming draft. Now, obviously, like I said, this isn't necessarily a very strong draft, and we currently do not even own our first-round pick, which would be netting us the 17th pick. But I do have plans anywhere in this range. We're not going to be able to trade into the lottery, but we're going to have a chance, I would say, to move on a guy like Grant Williams in a second round or a later first to get anywhere in this 15 through 30 range. And that is where I'm planning to be when I am creating this draft board. Now, obviously, it's going to go by the positions of need that we definitely need to be drafting. Obviously, I think our number one need right now is, growing the players we currently have. We've got a lot of young guys, but I would not be opposed to bringing in a guy that could start over Mark Williams and could potentially be a better Mark Williams or center just because if he can stretch the floor. But I would say our biggest needs right now are backup point guard Backup small forward is definitely a weakness. Right now, we don't have a scorer there. We really need someone that can come on and shoot, and Bryce McGoins and Joe Ingles both can shoot it, but they cannot supply that at the, outside of, they can't create the shot for themselves. So we need a guy that can come off the bench and do that. Power forward is definitely a need as well. And so far, the first 5 guys on the draft board have a wide range of projections. I accidentally just removed the first guy on the draft board. Let me bring him back if I can remember who it was. I think it was maybe you. But anyways, this is where we're starting out with Randolph Mercer out of Arizona State. A little bit more in-depth on him. He's averaging 25 or 21.5 points per game, 4.2 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. Not shooting the most efficiently in college at Arizona State, but he's got all-star potential, and I think he's got a really good chance at being a 3-and-D type molded player, because he can come in at 6'6". His wingspan is 6'9". He's got some good athleticism. We don't have access to his his actual attributes yet, but if you look, his athleticism is an A-. He's got an okay defense. I think he can come in. He can be a scorer off the bench, which is exactly what we're looking for. As of next year, we're assuming Stefan Cassell will inherit that starting role at the shooting guard position. So what does that mean for Tre Mann? Do we re-sign him on a, somewhat large contract? I don't know. Do we draft his replacement like Randolph Mercer? That is a question we'll have to figure out in the offseason. Next up, we've got a guy I'm really interested in as well. Is Brevin Stanley now... Is he the strongest defender? No. Is he the most athletic? Is he the fastest or highest IQ? No. But this guy can shoot the ball very well. And at 20 years old, 6'8", small forward, but can also play shooting guard. He is a very tall, very lengthy potential shooting guard. You don't see very many shooting guards who weigh 210 and have a 7-foot wingspan. And if he's being projected to go 17th in that range, I could definitely see a world or a reality where we jump up into the first round and we take a guy like Brevin Stanley there, 15 to 20 overall, because we definitely need to improve our wings. And before we get to our point guard position, we're going to get our third wing off the board. Now, this guy is kind of similar to Randolph Mercer. He's a veteran, an older guy out of Arizona, not Arizona State. He's got a good shooting ability, not the greatest, but at 6'4", he's a good shooter from the shooting guard position, and he is a lockdown defender. This guy, I feel like, is really a plug-and-play. Austin Butler is really a plug-and-play type of player. You can, if you're a contender or a team that hopes to be contending, is he going to be the most potential? Is he going to go to a 99 overall? Probably not, but he might start out at a 78, and he might get up to an 85. That might be his max. But if you're spending a late first-round pick on a guy that can shoot lights out and can play lockdown defense, I think you've got to be happy with that. And right now, what we're really missing in the backcourt, I would say, is defense. LaMelo's not the weakest defender. He gets good steals, but a lot of time he's out of position. And then you have Tre Mann beside him, who is not necessarily somebody I would consider super strong on the defensive side either. He's definitely worse than LaMelo. Speaking of point guards, we have the opportunity to address the backup point guard position. Right now, we have Nick Smith Jr., who has not cut it. We brought in Kyle Boswell. I just don't really like the way he feels when he plays. Very slow jump shot. Not a great shot creator. But he was a second-round pick. You can't be too mad about it. But Lance White III out of Kansas, a 6'4", 21-year-old point guard, shooting guard hybrid. Kind of checks all the boxes. He's a decent scorer. Does he do anything amazing? No. But he can play good defense. He can make, run the offense. He can get you a little bit of rebounds for a guy at 6'4", because he's relatively athletic. And I think he has some of the better potential in the draft. And at just 21 years old, he's not the highest age. Is he super young? No. We've got a guy on here that's 18. But I do think Lance White III could potentially bring some balance to our bench unit, because that's desperately what we're missing right now. We're missing somebody that can run the offense off of the bench, I would say. And Stefan Cassell's doing that well, but like I said, next year, there's a high chance that he's going to be in the starting lineup, so we're going to be missing that floor general off of the bench there. Next up, and finally on this first 5 segment of the draft board, we've got our first center and our first big man. Now, he is very intriguing. 7 feet tall, 229 pounds, 18 years old, out of St. Mary's, California. As you'll see, he doesn't have great projections as of right now. Highest anybody has him going is NBA.com at 28th overall. And that's just because he's a very raw prospect. He doesn't necessarily seem to have great potential in the long term. But at 18 years old, you can snag a guy like this late first round, early second round. You're pretty happy with this. He's not the greatest perimeter or post defender that you would like as a 7-foot guy, but that is something you can work on. Rebounding is something you can work on. But he can shoot the lights out. And at the end of the day, you have to look at it in a way that if you're taking a project in the late first round, maybe you want to just go lowest age with the potential to grow, or a guy that can play a really long time for your organization. Because when you're this late in the first round, you can't necessarily look at it as you're wasting a pick. When you're in the top 10, or maybe, I guess I should say even the lottery, you could argue that drafting a guy that doesn't end up doing anything is wasting a pick. But like 20 and down in the second round especially, you're just hoping that you find a hit, and that's what Willard Bell would be. He's already going to come in as a very strong shooter, possibly this best shooting big man in the draft. And if he can develop the rest of his game around that, that's going to supply him very well going forward as a center. Now, you'll see the rest of the regular season, we only have 5 games left. And as I showed the standings earlier, simulating, we are locked into the play-in tournament. But it can still get better. We're 1 game behind the 7th seed right now, and we're 2 games behind the 6th seed. We play the Pacers right now today. If we can beat the Pacers, it's not guaranteed. The Pacers still have a 2-game lead, so they would have a 1-game lead on us, and we'd still have to worry about the Raptors. We can go in the Spectrum Center and get a win against Indiana. We can solidify our spot or help our cause going up and jumping into that 7th or 6th seed, which would be very important because we could avoid playing the Cavaliers, number 1, a team that just dominated us. We could also avoid playing the Magic, a team that's very good. Or instead, we would be playing the Philadelphia 76ers, who have a dominant center. And I think we're a team that is matched up well to dominate the center position. Mark Williams is a very good defender. Now, we would struggle against Tyrese Maxey, who would probably average 50 against us. But right now, the 76ers are weak. They have Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey carrying them. They've got 3 rookies starting. 70 overall rookies are starting for them. A 17th overall pick, a 19th in the second round, and a 3rd in the second round. They're not a very strong team this year. They have Markelle Fultz back, but still, I like that matchup a lot better. So if we can somehow make our way into that 7th seed, that would be a very, very big win for the Charlotte Hornets organization. Anyways, though, that's going to be the end of this episode. If you did enjoy, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe. Make sure to catch you all next time. Adios.